I'm Chef Pants and I'm gonna make a really cool robot action figure. Now I know what you're saying. Doesn't it take a lot to make an action figure? Why would anyone want to do this? Aren't you a little old to be playing with dolls? Why do you wear Vans gear so much? And the simple answer is, I've been obsessed with a lot of things. But one of those things has always been and I'm not dipping my toes into the world of building robots. I mean, I am wet. If you know me, you know that this is not the first robot that I've ever built. But building life-size droids from Star Wars, and what I'm trying to tackle here is completely different. And like a lot of the things that I make, I want this to be something that I would have wanted as a kid. I knew generally what I wanted it to look like, but I hadn't figured out exactly what the aesthetic was. I mean, at first I tried to do something that was more of like a big military-esque robot, and I realized very quickly that that wasn't what I wanted from it. I wanted something that could be both cool and stupid at the same time. And as fate would have it, the thing that emerged into the world, the thing that has constantly been plaguing my Instagram and Facebook feed, is the Rizbot. There's just something about that robot. It's just this like big leap in technology where there's an actual robot just roaming the streets, interacting with people, and yet it says the goofiest, memeiest shit. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do something that is silly while also being kind of cool. But then the question still stood, what was this thing gonna look like? Now there is absolutely no shortage of robot-inspired things on the internet, Pinterest. And then I realized I probably shouldn't be looking at robots for inspiration. I should probably be looking at other things that I think are cool. And one of the biggest things that I think is cool, and one of the things that I draw inspiration from a lot through design in both prop making and different things like that, is tech from the 80s. And then the rest of the design aesthetic just sort of fell into place. Like this thing needed to look like an old IBM computer or like an old Macintosh that grew arms and legs and just started walking around. And this is where I start to get really excited because this thing that I'm trying to make is an action figure. And what an action figure needs is accessories. Now, normal accessories like a G.I. Joe, I mean, it's got guns, it's got grenade launchers and stuff. I want this thing to have those too. But when I think about the things that inspired this, like the Rizbot, well, the accessories can also be super goofy and fun as well. I mean, why can't it have a cowboy hat? I mean, what if this thing had a bazooka as well as a frying pan or a rubber chicken? Why not also give it sneakers? The possibilities are quite literally endless. So I think at a certain point, I just gotta put like a cap on the amount of accessories that I give it. Now, one of the things that I constantly lost sleep over was how am I going to make this thing? Am I going to scratch build the entire thing from styrene in combination with some kit bashing? Am I going to design the entire thing in Fusion 360? And that's when I realized I was gonna have to do the thing I had been dreading and 3D print them out of resin. I love 3D printing. I don't like 3D printing resin. Resin 3D printing and I have never really quite gotten along. We haven't quite figured it out. And the idea of resin 3D printing that many parts, but also that many parts that are tiny, was really daunting. And it definitely was not without its challenges. Good morning. I set off a print to run overnight on the resin printer. That usually wouldn't be a problem, other than I have had some pretty catastrophic failures lately just because I'm still kind of new to resin 3D printing. I've had this printer for probably over a year now and have barely used it. I'm really scared to go look at the print because I don't know if it turned out or not. And if it didn't, I don't know. I'm gonna have to maybe figure out something else because I'm really scared that this whole resin thing isn't gonna work. Oh, hi butterflies. Hopefully you guys are a good omen. Whoa, hi. Okay, I'm not gonna look. You're gonna see first. And you're gonna tell me what you see. Oh my God. If I've actually figured this whole thing out, that would be freaking amazing. Oh. Luckily, I ended up getting the settings right, and then I was off to the races. Now, there's no doubt that I was gonna have to resin 3D print the arms and legs, but I wanted the body of the robot to be scratch built by me. So first thing I did is I built the generic shape out of styrene. I knew I wanted it to be sort of this trapezoidal computer tower, so I cut all the sides out of styrene and then I glued them together, and then I chamfered all the corners and edges of the body. And then I sort of got lost in all the kit bashing, because there was a lot of components that I had pulled from different model kits or little pieces I had 3D printed from the past that I had left over. And eventually I sort of came up with this. This was the body that I ended up scratch building, and I'm super, super happy with this. Most of the components are sort of scratch built, but there's a few like parts from a tank model kit. The eye is a combination of little greeblies and things I had collected, but it's mostly just hand built. All these panel lines I scribed myself. Like, to me, this is just a super pleasurable object. I love this thing. It's exactly sort of the character that I had originally designed. All right, it's been 1 week. This is our robot, and you'll notice that he sort of has some legs going. And that's because the last week I've spent designing the rest of his body. And I'll be honest, like it kept me up at night trying to figure this thing out. I didn't anticipate how hard it would be to figure out the articulation in not only the arms and legs, but also the hands. So here's my first prototype of one of the arms, and you'll notice that all the little fingers are individually articulated, which I think is really cool. But this was prototype number 1, and there's a lot of problems with it. One, it's a little flimsy. And that leads me to version 2.0, which looks something like this. It's fully articulate, and these just snap into place kind of like this. Boom. It uses a ball joint, and then you have full mobility of the arm. And then the legs look a little something like this. And just like the arms, they consist of a thigh piece, a shin piece, and then this is the foot, which is also the second version of the foot. The first version of the foot, which was just a little bit too small, so I beefed it up a bit, so it provided a lot more stability. Provided a lot more stability for the figure itself. And all the legs are held together with these little 3D printed caps that just sort of slot into place. Boom. And once it's in, it's fully posable and it won't come apart. And so here he is, our very own 10.5-inch tall robot action figure. I think what I want to do right now is paint him, because I'm really looking forward to seeing this fully done. How do I lose a giant roll of tape? Ta-da! All right, so I did a quick pass on the first colors of all these pieces. I masked them off. So now that they're dry, I'm gonna unmask those pieces, some of those pieces, and then paint the secondary color on them. And then it should be looking really good. All right, so the next morning, our pieces have dried. And here is our little boy. I really like the look of the arms, but there's something about the symmetricalness of the two of these that I think I could improve on. And that's when I designed this. Now this is the forearm section 2.0. I thought that introducing a little bit of asymmetry into the final robot may be a good thing. So I'm gonna take one of the forearms and replace it with this. I'm gonna call that good. I think that is super nice. Yeah, I'm liking the look of that. I broke it. I snapped the piece. I didn't follow my own advice. With this resin that I've been printing them out of, by heating up the joint areas before you pop them together, they go together much nicer than what I just did. That's why I printed more. Just gonna heat this up a little. That should just slide in like that. Nice. Boom. I think that's very nice. I just think it's too clean. There's two classes of robot. Like take Wally, for example. Wally looks like he's beat to crap. He's got different color tones, his paint's chipped. And then you've got Eve, she's modern, she's pristine. We're definitely going with more of like the Wally approach. My plan currently is to make him only look better with some weathering. Let's go for it. So here it is, my action figure in all of its glory. Rubber chicken and all. So this project was months in the making and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I'm probably gonna put this on my desk and stare at it for the next couple months. Now I know that the project's done, but I love a good twist at the end of the video. See, as I've been making this project, I've been printing more than one set of arms and legs. And that's for a very good reason. Because like I said before, the whole point of making this was to make a robot action figure that was cool but also silly. And that got me thinking, what if you could take the arms and legs of this robot and put it on pretty much just about anything, thus making it a robot? And that's exactly what I did. I mean, the possibilities are quite literally endless to what you can attach robot legs and arms to. I mean, just another example of what you can do with these. Today, I made this. This is just a little robot guy I cobbled together out of some miscellaneous parts that I had laying around. And then one coat of paint later, he's a full-on robot. And the best part is all the STL files for the robot that you saw me build in this video are available in the link in the description. And that includes some accessories that I didn't get to fit in this video. Also in the description are some Amazon links for some fun accessories that you can buy to put on this thing. Like this backpack. Got real zippers. By the way, this is a brand new channel, so if you had fun, you should definitely subscribe because you're not gonna wanna miss some of the fun stuff we got coming up in the next videos. Not to spoil anything, but it's an art piece related to one of the greatest vines of all time. And you might just be able to win one.